Orders. We're live. What is going on, everybody? This is Rob with Flip Aquatics, and today we are live with Jenna and Cody. And so today we are going over I call him Cody, but it's actually Jay Guppy. And so we got Jay Guppy and Jenna. So we're going to be talking about membership with Jenna. We're going to be talking about Guppies with Cody. And yeah, we got our new setup. We changed a few things around, so hopefully we don't look like Minecraft figures today, but you know, we could. So why don't we start off with, we're going to be talking about this aquarium, who won this aquarium, or not who won this aquarium, but who won the $25 gift card for guessing the closest gallonage of this aquarium. So we'll get to that. But why don't we start off with Jay Guppy, just kind of talking about, you know, what he does here, how he got here. Because if you guys didn't know this, I was talking, we had a little meeting this morning, and Jay Guppy was so excited to be a part of this stream today. So we're really happy to have him a part of the live stream, Coffee with Flip. So Jay Guppy, you got to get close to your mic.
I gotta get close to it.
Treat it like a microphone. Because if you guys didn't know this, you know, these are actually our two best singers at Flip Aquatics, and
it's sabotage.
Jay Guppy sings a lot, so maybe we'll have him do a little duet for us at the end here, but we'll see.
Whoa!
Oh!
He's ready.
He's ready to go. He did. Now you got to follow it up.
Nope. Not
Stay
ready
tuned for next time.
Yeah.
A little bit every time.
Every time.
But anyway, Jay Guppy, tell us about you and how. Actually, start with, how'd you get the nickname Jay Guppy?
I got it because you gave it to me.
That's a good reason.
So when I first started, we had guppies that didn't sell, and I didn't understand why when I ran analytics to figure out what sold good and what didn't sell good. And I'm like, Rob, why do we even have these things? Because they're just sitting here taking up space.
Yep.
So, and then I think they weren't in stock or something. Or
yeah, we had them and we just didn't have them on the website for sale.
They weren't listed.
It's weird. It's weird how those things work.
And I'm like, okay, so that doesn't sound like it's making any sense or money at that point. So I'm like, well, let's get them listed. Let's see what we can do. And then they all sold out. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then Guppy Joe came like in a month.
Joseph Miller in chat.
Yes. Is he on yet? Anybody see him?
Mid-Ohio Guppies.
What's up, Joe? Hope your shoulder surgery went well. Hope you're recovering well. He brought us a bunch the next month, and they're all so colorful and beautiful, and put those in stock, and they sold right away again. I'm like, well, crap. Like, this is not cool. Like, I need guppies. And so we decided, well, let's start breeding them. So that's what we're doing downstairs in the basement, is breeding guppies now. And that's why I have Jay Guppy as a name.
Tell us about Mrs. Doubtfire.
Mrs. Doubtfire. My Dumbo purple mosaic.
Rest in peace.
Yes. She was a good one, but she gave me 22 fry last week, and then she went to be with Jesus. So
yes, you carried her around, didn't you?
I did. I just wanted to see, because I wanted to document the process and put it on our website, or on a video, because I think it would be fascinating for people to watch live birth. Fry.
Wow. We're going down a rabbit hole here today.
Guppy birth, because it's a cool part of the reproduction cycle in guppies. So it was I didn't get the photo though, or the video. So I put her back in her tank, and she passed away the next day after all of her litter was born. So.
And what's the difference between an Endler and a Guppy?
A couple chromosomes. I think it's 3, right, Joe?
Right, Joe. Joe's the man. Well, so that's Jay Guppy, and we'll talk more about that. But you guys met Jenna last week. So Jenna, how's everything going now? You've been here for what, a month and a half now? Something like that. You feel like you're getting your sea feet?
Yeah, I think so. Not as queasy anymore.
No.
Everything's going good. Yeah, I think I'm starting to get a little bit more familiar with like names of things and types of things, and just the different variations of things that there are and there can be.
There's a lot to know.
And every time I think I know all that there is to know of the Endlers or of the Guppies or of the Caridina, all of a sudden there's like 3 new variants then I'm like, oh, just kidding. There's more. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
there's always more.
I can always look forward to 3 messages at least a day from
Yes.
Jenna.
Oh,
asking
yes.
What's this?
Very
What's
good
that?
questions.
Yeah. So if you're ever wondering, because you know that I do emails and how I'm like really new to this whole world, how is she possibly able to answer these serious in-depth questions? It's because of Jay Guppy.
We have a
And I've
Jay
only
Guppy in
been
the
here for
background.
5 months. So
Yes, but we do.
I'm
We
learning
make
a
it.
lot.
We make
Yeah.
it do. But yeah, so I usually end up messaging everyone else like, "Hey, if this was your tank, what would you do?" And yeah, so that we're able to help as best as we can.
It's shocking how many emails we get with people being like, hey, I have a 10-gallon tank. I don't know what I want to do with it. What do you suggest? And it's literally like, that's all we have. Like, we just have like the size tank, and then people want us to just tell them like what goes in it. And our auto response is guppies. Just
Well, if I'm
Purple
messaging Cody,
mosaic.
yes, it's always guppies.
oh yeah.
They're asking about Caradina, and he goes, "Guppies? I think they need some guppies."
Oh
I
yeah.
think this will be
Yeah. Jay Guppy, what should we put in this?
the Dumbo Platinum Red Tail,
Yeah.
of course.
What is your favorite guppy right now?
That one?
Dumbo Platinum
Red tail.
Red Tail.
Or it would be.
Is that the
blue-
one that you edited yesterday, Leather?
Yeah. Or the white Moscow. I mean, it's
Dude.
beautiful.
The white Moscows are stunning.
We did just get a Platinum Cobra, not listed yet, but it will be soon. But they are gorgeous as well.
You say platinum?
Platinum Cobra.
Wow. How many types of guppies do we have?
I think about 20 now.
There's quite a few.
What's the goal?
Is there? I mean, it's
There's no limit.
Is there a
We have the whole
goal?
basement
Limitless.
Yes. I love
to
it.
the moon.
Yeah.
To the moon and back. That's crazy. How many? If you had to guess, because again, you're new at this, so like, how many different types of guppies would you say there are?
Heck, there's so many. I couldn't even put a number on it because what they're doing is like, breeding different guppies and crossbreeding things for fancier tails or different colors. So they just add a new one every time. Like Joe Miller was talking about a new line that came on for him too that they just brought out or something. And it's like every time I look around, there's a new line of something, and I'm like, I gotta get that. I gotta have that.
So how long until we have the Jay Guppy line?
So the flip bread will be ready in maybe 3 or 4 months.
Are we gonna call them flip bread, or are we gonna call them Jay Guppy bread?
Whatever we want to call them, I guess.
The JB special.
Maybe. Yeah.
Jay Guppy. Yeah, that's fun, man.
So,
I like I personally like the Endlers. That's my favorite, and it's just because like I think it's because they're smaller, and I mean they all have good color, but like something about Endlers, like I just love them.
Something about
yeah.
It's those lack of 3 chromosomes, like
Right.
something about it just really
Right.
gets my gears turning.
And the fact that like guppies are more like solid colors throughout, and like a lot of the endlers we have different variations of colors throughout the pattern.
Yeah.
So like with the oranges and the blues and the like the Santa Maria Bleeding Hearts or the Black Flames, they all have a different uniqueness about them as well.
Do you remember that type we were just looking at the other day? They had like a patch of
green-
tiger.
Is it the green one? No,
There was the green Vienna, whatever.
I don't remember.
But there was another one. It had like Jenna. It was so cool. It was like all these cool colors, and then in the middle of its body, like normally where there would be like a black spot, it was like a spot of like tiger pattern.
Oh, that's cool.
Like it was cool. But the tough thing is, a lot of the countries we import from, they only sell the males, which is smart for a couple of reasons. Is like they probably don't want you breeding them. Is the thing that comes to mind at the beginning. But the other thing is maybe it's because the females don't sell as well. And so like they're just charging a premium for the males. So I don't know what it is, but it is hard to get breeding groups of them. And that's one thing that we're really working towards.
Right. And I'm learning so much, even from Joe, that we just had a conversation yesterday. Don't forget to call me later too, because we were supposed to talk later. But even like temperature of the water, if you increase the temperature, he was saying that, studies have shown that more males or less males are produced from a fry litter if the temperature is higher than lower. So like there's so many different things out there I just haven't tapped into yet that would be game changers, because then you're selling, like he said, trios where it's 1 male and 2 or 3 females, because that's what for breeding it's a good pool there. But it's just crazy. So many different things. Yeah.
It's fun. I love seeing the passion. And the fun thing is, and we can talk about this too, is your husband, Nate.
Oh.
We're getting him an aquarium. We're
Oh,
getting
yeah.
him set up.
Somehow I work here and
He's the
caught
one getting the
bug.
aquarium.
He caught
Yeah.
the bug for the aquarium. Yeah. Every
Yeah.
time he comes in here, he goes, "It just sounds so peaceful with all the
water.
Yeah, all the
going.
water." He's like, "I like this."
Yeah.
Okay,
It is the perfect time for you guys to get an aquarium because you guys just got a new house.
we did,
You're just getting settled in, so like you don't have where everything goes
No.
yet, and so
and we don't want cats or dogs. So
don't want
it's-
cats or
it's a good
dogs. So like
settlement.
fish tank
Yeah.
makes sense.
Sure, no kids. Might as well start there.
Yeah, might as well start there. Yeah.
See if we can keep the fish alive first.
Yeah, start there. They stay in a tank. They're confined.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll have to keep you updated on how that goes whenever I get my first tank.
Yeah. If you sit in the basement and you hear the airflow and the water flow, it does kind of, if you close your eyes like a rainforest, kind of like,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just like,
I love going in the fish room.
Yeah, we've actually walked downstairs one time and Jay Guppy was under the counter sleeping.
fake news.
Fake news. Fact check me.
It's like a built-in white noise machine.
Oh,
No
yeah.
one's seeing it. Anyways,
It is very relaxing though. I agree.
Yeah.
And it's like it's almost bizarre. Like I walked down the other day, the power was out and the blower wasn't running, so there was like no water movement. And I'm like, it's like creepy.
Eerily
Yeah.
quiet.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
Like I like the noise.
Well,
in
my
the
first
background.
couple of days, actually, the noises were creepy because there would be no one else here, but there were still noises happening. Now, though,
yeah.
I've adjusted, and now it's like if there's no noise, that's creepier.
and that's
Yeah.
one thing. If you don't hear the noise, there's something wrong.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the problem
something's
now.
wrong.
Yeah, that's how I actually met Nate, because you were gonna be here late, and you're like, Nate, you need to come to
I
work
need
with
you to
me.
come, just in case no one else is there.
Yeah. And then it ended up being like what a 2-hour conversation. And Nate was like hit me with all these in-depth questions and just a lot of fun. So like that's how me and Nate really got to know each other.
Yeah,
It worked out good.
it did.
You
Great
couldn't have planned it any better.
Couldn't. Now he has somebody else to talk about all of his ideas. and
Yeah.
things, too. It's great for me.
It's great. You just pass that on.
Yeah.
Although you still get it. You guys go to the gym in the morning
Yes.
and he still like runs through all of his
Rapid
game
fires.
plans.
Yes.
Rapid fire. 30 minutes. Here's all my plans.
I'm not a morning person and he is, and he's not an evening
Oh.
person, night out, and I am. So I end up rapid firing everything at him late at night, and he's just like, I can't comprehend. And then in the morning, he returns the favor. So that's fine.
He gets you back.
Yeah. Perks of marriage.
Well, Jay Guppy, why don't you run through kind of like what's going on in the basement? Because we probably do a little members video or even I need to get back to long form content, which maybe mean you plan out a video and go through the Jay Guppy alley, which is all these breeding tanks. So why don't you fill everyone in and like what we got going on downstairs?
So right now we have 20 40-gallon tanks downstairs that are dedicated solely to breeding guppies. And then we have 125s, which are dedicated to breeding endlers.
Let's
So
preach.
the crazy thing is as soon as we get them ready to put in stock, they're sold. They're gone. Like
Every time.
Every time.
Every time.
And even like my favorite endler right now is the Jinga Rubra. And literally, as soon as I get them ready to put some in, and they're gone the next day. I'm like, well,
It's crazy.
it is crazy. But anyways, so I think what we've been doing this 3 months now, maybe 2 months, really like hard into breeding. There's so many different things that I've been trying just because we got to find what works. Because if you go on YouTube or go on Google, everybody's got their own way of doing things that work for them.
Absolutely.
You know, they're going to put the floating baskets in there and put the pregnant females on top, and then the fryer just going to swim through the basket, or they're going to have 5-gallon tanks, which is going to be our next step, actually, that Mark is working on right now.
Ooh, he is getting that going?
He should be if he's not, but sooner than later, we're going
If
to
he's listening to this, he better get a move
we
on.
planned
I
it
thought
out
he
to
was
put 12 more 5-gallon tanks downstairs to segregate a little bit easier breeding. But so right now I have those 40 gallons sectioned off in the tanks and have a couple of each in each section. So it kind of brought it down to like 10 gallons in between.
Yeah.
And then, you know, going through that, segregating the fry when they're born, making sure that everybody looks good. Any crooked spines put those in the community tank. And, you know,
Those ones go to adoption.
They did go to adoption, which are on sale right now. But
$2.99. Find them now.
right. So in those tanks too, we have a bunch of different things, not only breeding, but we have snails in there that we're trying to breed. We have shrimp in there and plants in there. So we have a lot of different things, just creating that perfect ecosystem for them. But like I said, we're messing with so many different things. So like temperatures, like I was talking to Joe, like some I have a little bit higher on heat, some I have a little bit lower, because I want to see the difference in a month of the fry that's produced. Well, it won't be until like 3 or 4 months so I can sex them, but to see what came out of which batch, and how many more males to how many more females, and then, you know, color patterns. Are they true to color? Are they only 60%? Because, you know, guppies aren't always going to be true to, you know, the genealogy, but then we get into line breeding and inbreeding and all the different kinds of breeding that we want to do and we don't want to do. So
the filming of live births.
Right. So we want to make sure
stuff.
that, you know, I was talking to Joe about line breeding and making sure that we're doing that properly, because it's all scientific and it gets crazy after a while. But
yeah,
hopefully I can get the perfect flip bred J Guppy lines going, and
nice.
And we are always selling out because they're so good.
They'll actually have the Flip logo.
No, I was thinking he's going to breed a J into their side.
Yeah.
Everyone will know it's a J Guppy.
Yeah, literally.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, Jenna, how about for your side? So you're heavily involved in the Aquarium Club, the new membership that we're building.
Yeah.
We just relaunched that, if you guys haven't seen it. And we have some big plans there. So why don't we just dream a little bit? Like, what do you see coming in the future? What are some things that we want to aim for? You know, sell me on it.
Okay. Yeah, I think like kind of our heart behind like the relaunch of membership was to just make sure that we're able to really provide valuable things for it, and not just like there's a video or two for you to check out. Like, we really want to be able to just have content that is like great for you and access to things. So in the revamping of it, we narrowed it down to 3 tiers. And we have our club members,
love it,
core club members, and our
crystal club members. That's the best.
Yeah. It just feels good. It feels good saying crystal club member. It feels good being a crystal club member. Not that I am one, because I created it. So maybe that feels better, actually. I don't really know. But with those 3 tiers, obviously there's like tiered things that you're getting with it. And I think like with just our video content, I think we're all kind of really excited to be back to doing kind of what you used to do at Flip.
So excited.
And working towards like the long form content and doing more things like the live streams and doing more members only stuff. And really just because we have so many creatives around here, like getting to kind of express that in other ways and take like the really fun, cool aspects of what Flip is doing here and making it into really creative content for you guys to watch at home, which I think is fun and awesome, and just helps like further express the like the aspect of wanting to set the standard and wanting to get people involved and get people enjoying it and get people learning. Like, I think it's just a really fun way to do that. That's not necessarily probably done a whole lot everywhere else. But so apart from though just like the video content and all that stuff, obviously with like socials and shorts, like doing fun things with that. But I think one thing that some of us are probably excited that we're going to do for the first time ever will be like a in-person event for our Crystal Club member. And tentatively me and Leather were talking about having it on Flip's like birthday, and whether it's on like this actual birthday or the weekend of the birthday, we just thought that would be like really cool. Like, you can come celebrate with us. And
it's our 10-year anniversary, or our 10th birthday is coming up.
Conveniently, like look at the how everything lines up.
How did you do that?
I did nothing. just
timing.
happened like that. Yeah. Initially, like Leather pitched it, and then we both were like, well, that's going to suck if the birthday is like next week, because then we can't capitalize on that. And thankfully it's not until like next year sometime. So it actually gives us a lot of time to plan and make sure that this space is actually looks cool. Other than what's just on camera.
We need to set up more tanks, get things going.
Get things moving, get things cleaned. We love a good cleaning.
We love a good cleaning.
That's the perk of having all of us gals on the team now. We'll make sure that
it looks good.
it looks good.
December can't come quick enough.
No. So I think as far as membership, like there's gonna be some really cool things, but that's like just the beginning of it to get started. And I think that we are even like planning on having like a private back page password only collection for our Crystal Club members to have access to. So that's where like potentially
The J Guppy will be
that's
for
where
first
it's gonna
make its debut.
And, yeah, and even like this, what he's talking about with things like selling out before you can even like put it in. Like if you're a part of the Crystal Club member, like you would be able to have first dibs before even beyond that. So that's another perk, I would say. Just saying. But yeah, so I think this everything that's kind of listed is just like the beginning, and we're super excited to like continue adding more things.
Yeah.
And I would say like if you have suggestions for things that you would like to see in the membership
Let us
tier,
know.
we're not opposed to listening. I'm not saying that will for sure happen, but we love ideas, and we love we want to hear from you guys. Always want feedback, and just to know like, hey, I really love this. Hey, I would love to see this, and it just helps us put it on our radar and kind of brainstorm things from that.
Yeah, and I got to give a huge shout out. We did a members only video last week, and it was hilarious. We actually had DJ M a part of it, and she just walked everyone around and kind of showed them what was going on. And she also had Liv on there. Liv was just cursing it like a sailor. We had to beep her out, and it was just really funny. So we had a really good time filming that. So I do think Emily will be more a part of, hopefully. I think she enjoyed it. I think she had a good time. And I think that we could do more content like that because it was a lot of fun. It was fun for the team. And if you watch that video, you can really see my personality, like where I'm very much like when I'm on task, like I'm just like, get it done, like get out of my way. And so like Emily, like everyone's having like a happy-go-lucky time. Emily comes over to me to do an interview, and I'm like, oh yes, let me stop and have this very professional interview. And so it was really funny watching it back because I was like, that explains my personality to a T. Jay Guppy can relate, and I know he can because we're very similar in that way. So yeah, there's a lot of good things going on, but I do think it's time to announce who is the winner of the gift card for this week. So we do officially have that person, and it is the person that you said earlier. So it actually is one of our Crystal Club members.
Wow.
So that limits it down. And let me get a drum roll. The winner. Wait. The winner of the $25 gift card with a guess of 38.5 gallons is Sure Aquatics. Yeah. So Will is actually one of my, and thank you guys. You did a phenomenal job. Will,
like, come on.
come on, say it already. Will is actually one of my good friends, and I didn't give him any insider information, but the actual size of this tank, we measured it out when we took water out, put it back in. We did the calculations. 0.46 gallons. And so that's our winner. So will reach out. Either Jenna will reach out or Leather and make sure that you get that $25 gift card.
Yeah. Congratulations.
So, congratulations to our winner. So we're going to have to think of like new competitions that we could do every week for Coffee with Flip, things we can give away, whether it's a trio of breeding guppies. Actually, maybe we'll do that for this week since we got Jay Guppy on here. What is what's the type of guppy that we can actually give away?
So my favorite that are doing really good right now are the green cobras.
Green cobras. Why are they your favorite
They're just
right
so
now?
Beautiful.
Walk us through. Like, give us the picture.
Even going back to, when I got first introduced to Joe, Guppy Joe, he was talking about a true line of cobra guppies and what that looked like and making sure that they had the black spot. If they didn't have the black spot, they weren't a true cobra line.
Yep.
So it's just I don't know, it's just beautiful. Yeah. And the green just shimmers in the water. Yeah.
So you just walk by and you're just like,
yeah,
the fruit of my labor.
Probably every hour, just go through the row and just
look at everybody.
Bask in the.
Because not only do we have a breeding rack of guppies downstairs, we also have like 2 rows in the fish room.
Yeah.
We used to have a bottom feeder row, and the bottom feeder row quickly turned into a guppy row. And I didn't even know it. I was giving it a tour last week, and I'm just like, oh yeah, this must be our new guppy row. And then I got to another row, and I'm like, apparently this is a guppy row too.
So the guppies were in the back in the deep dark dungeon of the rows. I'm like, they need more light than this. Like, we need to.
I can't enjoy
showcase
them back
over
here.
No, so
They can't
I
shimmer with no
moved them
light.
up a
Yeah, now like our pea puffers are like pushed into a corner. Yes, 'cause
all the bottom feeders like you know darkness, so you just
yeah, just
over
get
there.
out of here.
Yeah,
That's
So-
funny. So green cobras, we can give away a pair or a trio. We have enough to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. What we got to think of what would be the thing that they have to guess for that. How about I like it. How many
I hope
tanks?
so.
I
Your
like
own
it.
suggestion.
Hey, you guys calm down over there. All right. So they have to guess how many tanks of guppies that we currently have. So they know that, we kind of have one row, we have another row, we have a breeding rack downstairs. If they, rewind, they can hear how many breeding tanks we have downstairs. So like they can kind of get like a pretty good picture. Whoever guesses it, and if multiple people guess the same number, then whoever guessed it first, or we could have a playoff. I don't know. We'll have to think about it. But
Think about it.
I guess, yeah, because there's only so many guesses. So if multiple people do guess the same one, then we can kind of figure out what that looks like in next week Coffee with Flip.
Sure.
But now we'll have Jay Guppy, we'll have to bring you back for
Oh,
a time,
man.
just a season of
Oh,
next
check the
week's show.
calendar.
Just
I'm
to
free.
bring the trio on and show everyone what they're getting.
Yeah.
Do a close up.
Yeah, make sure we get that shimmer.
Yeah.
on
You'll see
camera.
it with this lighting.
So we'll be giving away a free trio of green cobra guppies next week. I like it. Well, Emily, before we get too much further, do we have any questions, anything like that? Grab your mic. Be the whole DJ for us here.
All right. So we actually got some questions off the Instagram this week.
Whoa.
So someone says having difficulty growing basic stem plants and RO water with perfect parameters. Any advice?
With perfect what?
parameters.
Oof. Anytime I hear perfect parameters, I'm like, well,
What is perfect?
define perfect, because
Mhm.
maybe it's perfect under your understanding, but usually, well, you know what, Jay Guppy, why don't you take a shot at this one?
Perfect parameters. So my question goes back to the RO water because that's what they said.
Come on,
They're
somebody, let's
using-
go.
So maybe don't use the RO and go to a tap water or some type because that's what we use.
Yeah, we use tap water. There's a lot of
So-
good stuff. There's also a lot of bad stuff in tap water sometimes. We
True.
just did a video on that.
Oh man, yeah. I don't know what it could be.
So if plants aren't growing,
Well, I mean, lighting could be a possibility.
yeah.
Are they
Come on, what else? What else?
the nitrates in the water?
Yeah, Jay Guppy, let's go. Let's go. Get one more try. Get one more thing in there.
Oh man, I can't think of anything right now. I'm so frazzled. Jenna, what do you think?
Jenna, you got anything?
Nutrients.
Nutrients. That because he just said nitrates. Yes. So full
Is
fertilizer.
the cycle?
Yeah.
Is it remember the cycle?
Yeah, if it wasn't cycled, that could be causing some issues. Absolutely.
Organics in the tank.
Yep.
Other organics.
Yeah. If there's too much nitrates in the tank because of organics, if it's dirty,
Water changes.
well, yeah. Come, keep them coming. Let's go.
All
So
the things.
RO water, the first thing I think is when someone says I'm using RO water, like, are you remineralizing it? If you are remineralizing, what are you remineralizing it with? Are you putting GH back in there? Are you putting GH in cage? Is the cage increasing the pH too high? Most plants prefer soft acidic water, but some prefer a higher pH. So like what plants are you keeping? Mostly you're keeping stem plants. So like stem plants are pretty fast growers, which leads me to believe that nitrates is most likely the reason they're not doing good, but also could be a big thing with lighting. Like how long are you running your lighting for? What's your cycle? So on. There's a lot of things that could go into it that could really cause some issues. So like whenever I hear perfect parameters, I'm always like, okay, give me your parameters. And then like, now we
decide
can
if they're
diagnose
perfect.
what's going on. Yeah. Cause like some people will be like, oh, my shrimp died. My parameters are great. What happened? And it's like, well, what's your GH? What's your cage? What temp are you running your tank? What's your TDS at? Because that can, tell us a lot about it. Send us a picture of your tank so we can see like is something going on here. And so there's a lot that could be diagnosed. So yeah. So long form answer, there could be a lot going wrong with your tank.
So next question is, how sensitive are blue bolts extreme to water parameters?
Welcome back, Jay
You're
Guppy.
the shrimp guy. Guppy.
Emails.
Yeah. Did you get any of these questions asking about Caridina parameters?
No. I mean, I know a lot of fish lately.
Okay. Well, I'll take this one away. I got you, Guppy. So the big thing with Taiwan bees, so Caridina in general, just assume that all Caridina that require a low pH, if you have the proper setup, they're super easy. So with our Neocaridina that we bring them in, like we'll bring in, 1,000 in a pond, 1,600 in a pond, sometimes even more than that. We always have to hit them with antibiotics because they come in like they got bacterial infections, they have issues, and we nurse them back to health over the course of the next 30 days. Like that's what we do. For Caridina, rarely do we have to treat, right? Like rarely do we have issues. We put 200 in a tank. Usually, after the course of the next 30 days, we'll have, of the 200, we might still have 195. Maybe we have 190. So we're going to lose a couple. There's always molting issues and things like that. But for the most part, like if you have the RO water, you have the right remineralizer, you have the right substrate, you're not keeping them too hot, they're extremely easy. Extremely easy. But most people want to just, take a bag of shrimp, throw them in a 300-gallon tank and just be like, they're going to live. If you do that, most likely blue bolts are really difficult because they're not going to live in that setup. But you could be that 1% where like you throw them in a tank and they start breeding and it's like, they actually were easy. But if you take the time to set up the proper setup, they're going to be extremely, extremely easy, in my opinion.
And just going off of that, blue bolts should always have RO water, or?
So RO water is the most consistent thing because you know exactly what it is. A good example is our pH issues we're having right now with our tap water. Historically, our tap water is very consistent, very low pH, like 6.5. So like doesn't really have KH in it, has a little bit of GH. So realistically, that would be pretty good for Caridina. But then all of a sudden now they're, fixing pipes. They're trying to build up the calcium to line the pipes, so on and so forth. Now all of a sudden our pH is 8.7. Yeah. And it's brutal because then you're trying to balance that. You're using alder cones. You're trying to treat it, like so on and so forth. So RO water is the most consistent. It's the most foolproof way that you could do it. If all we had was this one room and this many tanks, I would use RO water for everything. But we have 400 or 500 aquariums. You can't just pump all those full RO water. It's not economical. And so we've tried. We've done it. We've like right now, both of our RO units are down. We've had issue after issue after issue. And so it's one of those things that RO water is always the safest bet. But sometimes on large scales, it's not economical. But on a small scale, I would use RO water all the time. Just takes the guesswork out of it. Good. Jay Guppy in the house.
Trying to help out.
Man, how did we not have you on the show before?
It got me. I was sitting over here.
We gotta, what we gotta do? We gotta go back to the Chick-fil-A days and replay some of the shorts that you did.
Oh man,
that could be a whole episode, like reliving the past with some of our favorite cast members.
A Christmas time episode.
Yeah.
Christmas past.
Christmas past. I like it.
but not.
No, how about no? What else we got, Emily?
Next question is, what substrate is best for Neocaridina?
Ooh. You guys got any stabs at this one?
The kind that we have in the box downstairs, because I don't know the name of it.
The kind that we have in the box
that was
downstairs.
for Caridina. But
That's for
Neo.
Caridina. Yeah, for Neo. What substrate do we use for our Neocaridina?
None.
So the best substrate for Neocaridina is one that does not alter the water parameters. So we call that an inert substrate. So basically it means that it won't do anything to the water. and then you kind of let the parameters be what they are. Whereas Caridina prefer a low pH, so we use what's called a buffering substrate, which decreases the pH for it. It absorbs KH into the soil and then usually holds the pH between 6 and 7. Whereas Neocaridina, like we don't even use the substrate because it gets in the way as we're catching. And the only thing that it's good for Neocaridina is one, like if you want, a really nice tank and you want it to look a certain way, then substrate makes sense. Or, it's a good place for bacteria to live. So that's another benefit of it. So the one that I always recommend is if you have a pool or spa dealer near you, they sell what's called pool filter sand. And it's sand that you just put in a pool filter and it's already pre-cleaned, everything like that. It's usually a 50-pound bag. Maybe inflation, everything costs more. It used to only cost $5 for that bag. I'm sure now it's like $20, $25. And so that would be my recommendation. But there's a lot of the rainbow puke gravel, as we call it, which is like you go to the pet store and they got orange, blue, purple, pink. Any of that is usually an inert substrate, and you could use that. Interesting. Yeah.
All right, next one. This is the last one from Instagram, and it says, if shrimp were pro fighters, what shrimp would win, and who would fight dirty?
Oh, that is a question.
Are we adding the crayfish in?
Yeah, if we had crayfish, they're going to win every time. So, I mean, if I was a shrimp, I would not want to get in a fight with the bamboo shrimp because those suckers are big. And so, they're like the gentle giants. So, you can jump all over them. They're not going to do anything. But you ever make a bamboo shrimp mad, they're going to fan you to death.
Yeah, because they got fans. They're just
they're going to catch a shrimp and try to eat it.
Yeah.
Which one would fight dirty? Probably the crayfish. If we consider
the crayfish, because they go at it all the time.
Oh, all the time. We have caves after caves after caves in their tanks, or otherwise they're eating.
They
each
ship
other.
the crayfish in individual small bags when we get them. They're like 1 inch by 1 inch with a little bit of water in it. It's crazy. And we put them all in. They all start attacking each other.
I think crayfish are very similar to you in the fact that they're always just like, "Come here, let me get you." Is that really what you say?
Oh,
that's Jay Guppy for you. Welcome to the party.
What would you think?
What do you? Yeah, what do you
Well, I
think?
think if crayfish are in, then that's like just the given. Other than that, I don't know. I feel like a Bloody Mary
it's
would
gotta
mess you up.
it's gotta be the Red King Kong.
The Red King Kong,
because of the
just because of the
name.
Well, how about the Black King Kong?
It could be, but the extremes
Oh yeah,
The extreme.
they're ready.
They're gonna get it.
Yes.
They're gonna get it.
Yes.
As far as temperament of shrimp, I don't think I've ever really noticed a difference. The only time that I would have,
Oh, I'm just laughing.
you got something to say over there?
No.
Jenna's just enjoying this. As far as shrimp, I used to keep Caridina and Neocaridina together because Neocaridina and Caridina won't interbreed. But what happens is one usually overtakes the other. Like one's more successful in breeding, and then they overwhelm the other population. So usually one succeeds when another one dies. And so the only time that I've had this happen, I tried it with cherry shrimp and crystal reds, and my cherry shrimp dominated. And then I tried it with royal blue tigers and blue velvets, and then the royal blue tigers dominated. So right now I'm 1 for 1 on the Caridina one and 1 on the Neocaridina one. So it's just, they're pretty peaceful. They're at the bottom of the food chain. Like they are the food for mostly everything is shrimp. And so I don't think they got too much spunk in them. You know what? Now I'm thinking about it. If I had a dirty fighter, you know who it would be? Freaking a mono shrimp. Those suckers will you'll drop one of those on the floor and it would start crawling to the other side of the room. They're like, I'm getting out of here. Oh yeah. No. Yeah. You got them on the net. They're crawling up your hand. They're like little spiders. And so that's the dirty fighter. And then the big macho would be the bamboo shrimp. Now that
I would say the orange-eyed blue tigers are going to get them with the crazy eyes because they're
distract them. Yeah.
Yes.
Man,
we got bright orange eyes.
You guys make sure you tune in for next week because we don't know what Jay Guppy's going to say.
We're going to have a ring right here in the middle. We're going to let them go at it.
Yeah, this is going to be our fighting tank. We're going to put 2 shrimp in there and just sit here and watch them for an hour. One will be on one side, one will be on
They'll
the
probably
other.
not do a thing, but hey.
No.
Hey, it'll be fun. So that was our last comment. So Emily, how do people get their questions answered from Instagram?
So we post a story 24 hours before these live streams. So
Nice.
if you have a question, that's the best way to get it answered.
And that's just Instagram or also Facebook?
Also Facebook as well.
Perfect.
But we actually do have another question from your buddy at Sure Aquatics. Which
Hey, Will.
He did say a mono shrimp before you guys said a mono
Ah,
shrimp.
so he knows what he's talking
yeah,
about.
he was right on there. But he said, question for Rob. Do you still have that tank with the slime mold?
With the what?
With the slime mold?
Slime mold.
Mhm.
I mean, it's still back there. I haven't looked at it in a hot minute. I would say yes.
Do you want to dive into that? What that is? Because
Yeah.
So basically, if it's what I'm thinking about, it's an aquarium that we had back there, and it's one of the ones that we set up. We put shrimp in it. The shrimp, didn't come in very good, and they ended up not being successful in that tank. So then the tank had nothing in it. And instead of like breaking it down or like, managing it, taking care of it the way that we should, a couple months ago, we were just surviving. Like it was crazy around here. And so that kind of got neglected. Next thing we know, there's, you get the green algae all over the front of the glass like you do with aquariums. And then next thing you know, we got like this white kind of like mold looking thing that is like eating the algae off the front glass. And I'm like, what is that? And so I don't know if Will was here, if I did a video on it, but I was trying to figure out what that was. And it's a type of bacteria, I think is what we landed on, that eats algae.
Interesting. And that's still back there.
it's kind of like those
And
tanks.
yeah.
Potentially. I guess that
downstairs.
answers Emily and Leather's questions why we all keep sneezing.
We have a train going on in the background right now. I don't know if you guys can hear that.
And we do have another question from Papa Shrimp.
Ooh, Papa Shrimp.
Yep. What's your favorite
Jerry.
filtration method?
Oh my God, he teed me up there. Matten filters, baby. Like, let's go. Matten filters are by far my favorite. We use them in pretty much every aquarium here, even our fish tanks.
Yep.
Although you guys prefer the sponge filter because it's easier to clean.
Yes.
That's the only difference. And sometimes when the air goes off, shrimp and fish get behind the Matten filter, which then we have to catch them all, and we don't know they're back there. So sometimes they don't get fed for a week. And so like there are some issues on a larger scale for Matten filters. On a small scale, the only issue of a Matten filter is it's kind of ugly. Let's be honest. But it's super effective. So that's what I like about it. And they're very cost effective too. And so Matten filter is definitely what I would say. And if you guys don't know what a Matten filter is, it's literally like the sheet of foam that lines a whole side of your aquarium. And then it just pulls water from your aquarium and just recirculates it. And then as the water passes through the foam, it filters it. Yeah.
Although Leather asked about a non-filtration tank.
Yeah, Leather. We talked about that a little bit last week in the live stream, is like having like a biotope is what I would consider it, where it's just you have the equal balance of plants and fish and cleaners, and it's just a self-regulating environment. So that's what Leather wants to set up at home, right?
I don't know.
She's got this whole list of things that she wants to do.
Didn't hear that.
And we talked about it has to be a big tank. So she's thinking like 125. You have to cut out one of the walls, put it inside the wall so you can see it from the kitchen and the living room.
Oh.
Right? Yeah.
It's actually going to go on the pole that's already in that whole living room wall, but then we just got to cut it in the dining room too.
Oh, so there's already a hole. It's just a little bit more cutting going on.
Just waiting for the aquarium now.
So
Can you just find a hole? Because I want people to think we're living in some type of some holes in the walls. It's a ledge. There's a ledge.
there's a
It's
ledge.
not a hole.
There's
It
a
is
ledge.
It is a half wall.
Jacob calls it a ledge. Leather calls it a hole.
Good night.
With no glass.
There's a window inside their house. Between
It's in your kitchen,
is that like because if
living room.
is it like an order window like from your kitchen to your living room? Like
No.
Oh.
you do have one of those too?
No, we drywalled it shut.
You had
It's
one?
the down in the
We don't know why I was there.
So Jay Guppy does most of the cooking, right?
Yes.
So he got tired of Leather being like, "Hey, cook me up some meatballs," and he's like, "I'm drywalling this crap." Is that how they went?
No.
No.
I don't know. why it was there. My grandparents put it in there because we bought their house, and then there was a refrigerator in front of it anyway, so it was never used. I don't know.
Oh.
Oh, it was just one of those things that you just don't understand what the original purpose was, and
Exactly.
Makes sense.
My
Gotcha.
grandpa tied in an electric cord to the socket, so I don't know why.
I mean, he did.
but
It's crazy.
yeah. So
Well, hey, and I mean, now you guys know what Jay Guppy's house looks like. Whole year window there.
Ledges.
Yeah,
Lots of
ledges
ledges.
everywhere. Not safe for kids.
we've been updating.
We've been updating. Oh man,
It was built in 1900, so give us a break.
give us a little grace.
It's
19.
wild.
It was built in 1999. You know.
The warranty ain't even worn off of that.
Yes. I love it. Well, you got more questions for us, Emily? Do you have any new members or anything during the stream? Because I know last week we missed one. Somebody signed up during the stream. I want to make sure that if somebody does sign
That's
up,
it.
that we give them the huge
We
shout
wanna
out.
celebrate.
We want to celebrate with them.
Yeah.
And potentially, so Jay Guppy, if you didn't know this, we're doing a talk once a month, dedicated live stream just for the Aquarium Club, you know, PowerPoint, the whole nine. Like we're rolling out the red carpet. And I do think that you would be a great speaker for our Aquarium Club. Like, you know, build your whole PowerPoint of like, this is what it's like to breed a guppy. This is the setup you need. You know, you kind of walk them through your journey of guppy breeding.
Okay.
So the only bad thing about this is we got to do it on Friday. So
Oh,
no, I'm just kidding.
I'll skip Monday then.
What?
I'll come in on
What?
Friday.
Oh man,
Monday is import day, so in case you-
Yeah. Monday is a day that is
Mondays
tough.
matter.
Yeah, you can't miss Mondays.
Wow. It's a lot.
Hey, what's going on back
We
there?
got trains.
We
and
got the two
ambulances.
DJs snickering.
It's a crime scene.
I know.
It's a
We
crime
got
scene.
the ambulances, fire trucks.
Yeah, we got a lot
happening,
going on around here
trains.
today.
Train accident.
Emily, you got anything for us back there? Apparently she does, because she's like losing it.
Someone said that you sound like Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen.
I
Not
kind of
wrong.
could hear that.
I
Yeah.
hear it.
Hmm.
Do you know who Seth
Do you
Rogen
take
is?
Alpha Brain?
Is
Is
Seth
that a paid
Rogen
sponsor?
the one that is in Pineapple Express? Then
I've
yes.
never seen Pineapple Express.
You've never seen Pineapple Express? Well, I mean, we could talk about it, but like, probably shouldn't. It's a really good comedy.
Rogen.
Seth Rogen's in it. You know,
Rob just pieced that together because he wasn't sure who Seth Rogen was until just
Oh
now.
man,
that's the only movie. I mean, there was one movie that he was in. I think is where like they go to North Korea and interview.
Yeah, the interview.
Yeah,
I was
it's called The
totally-
Interview.
Yeah.
I was totally getting Seth Rogen and Joe Rogan totally messed up.
Oh, you were
I'm
thinking
like,
Joe Rogan.
Oh yeah, he does.
The Joe
sound like
Rogan
Joe
experience.
Rogan.
Seth.
Hmm.
I gotta listen to his voice.
I
but-
can hear Seth Rogen a little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is it my mannerisms or like my deep manly voice? Like which? I
Yeah.
just trying to piece together
Something
why.
like that.
Yeah.
Mix of both.
Yep.
Nice. Okay.
And next question.
And moving on. We got anything else back there, DJM?
I'm looking.
Is there is the quality of the live stream? So this is again, last week we talked about phases. Phase 1 was, you know, members only video, a couple shorts. Phase 2 was ton of shorts and still doing members only video. Phase 3 was now let's kick off the live stream. Part of phase 3 is week 1 we kind of set it up. Week 2 we refined it. Week 3 we realized we're Minecraft figures when we're doing these. The audio sounds great, but man, the quality of that video looks terrible. So over the weekend, we upgraded our internet speed. Leather facility. Shout out to Leather coming in on a Saturday. Jay Guppy might not have known, so
Oh, she didn't tell me till she was here. So
Marriage.
marriage, you know, some secrets are better left secret.
Told after. Or
Yeah,
while it's
you
happening.
better to ask for forgiveness and
Yeah.
permission. That's my philosophy.
yep.
So anyway, we increased internet speed. We figured out how we could try to make the stream look better. So Leather, we having success with that. It's not crispy yet. We're going for Adobe stock quality. That's our goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Trying to get that 4K.
we're trying to get to 4K. Yeah,
So we do.
I'm a
have
loser. She just went like this.
we do have another question from one of our Instagram videos. Actually, one of our shorts.
Ooh.
Is black lava rock good for neocaridina and plants?
Yeah. I mean, Now, I'm going to make a statement that I believe is true, but you need to do your own research because I use lava rock, and most of the time lava rock is considered an inert. And so it would be good in anything. But don't quote me on that because I guess like there could be a situation where like lava rock isn't inert, but I've never ran into that. And so, yeah, lava rock would be great to use in any aquarium, in my opinion, unless I guess saltwater I'm not familiar with.
Later.
What's that?
So I'll check out Wikipedia later.
Yeah, Wikipedia.
Make sure it's
fact check
accurate.
me.
Rob already edited the page.
I could
so
see
that's just what he said.
this is something Jay Guppy would do. He'd be like, actually, Rob, I just looked up on Google. That's not accurate.
It's tough.
Leather's laughing back there. I wonder why.
We also
like
have
to know.
another question. Do Crystal members get Rob's workout advice?
Oh, I'll give him the Rob's workout advice.
What?
Don't go to the gym.
Who invited him? Wow. So the reason I'm guessing Sure Aquatic said that. So Will, my good buddy, he actually moved to PA, which is like an hour away from here. He was living in Washington, D.C. or Maryland, somewhere over there. So he was like 6 hours away, we'll say. And he moved back. And a part of that, his wife reached out to me and was like, hey, we're having a surprise 30th birthday for Will. It'd be cool if you guys showed up. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, like that's my buddy. Like I'd love to surprise him. So I get there and he just keeps staring at me. And like, like this is like as we're surprising him. But then he comes over. He's like, dude, I didn't even recognize you. Like you lost a ton of, you look great. And this is like how he talks. And so I'm like, dude, thank you. So he's like, what are you doing? And me and him were talking about it because like he's big into fitness. He has an elliptical, does like the bike racing classes. And so we were talking about that. So that's probably why he brings it up. So actually, Cody, I do have some advice. And we have been so busy around here that I haven't been to the gym in like, go ahead, Cody, answer for me.
Well, let's see. 4 weeks now?
At least. I think it's probably been like 12 weeks, to be honest. So it's on the agenda. And that's phase 5. We're on phase 3
we're
right
getting
now.
Close to January, and who knows what's gonna happen.
Well, speaking of that, how's your dad bod going? I know you've been working on it a lot lately.
I've been in the gym. You're the one that wants the cookies that I've been making.
I do.
so-
Oh, just so everyone knows, Jay Guppy makes the best chocolate chip cookies. He like teased me. He's like, "You want me to make you something?" I'm like, "Bro, anytime you want to make them, like, please do." So like his version of making them, he brings me 3, and I'm like,
4.
okay, 4, okay. It felt like 1 because they were so good. So I eat one. I'm like, my God, is that delicious? And I was like, okay, I need to, later on in the day, I'm like, I gotta have another one. Next thing I know, it's 2 days later, I'm out of cookies. And now I'm on like a 3-week hiatus where like, I feel like I'm like, well, no, we won't go there. But I feel like I'm in withdrawals. Like it's been 3 weeks without a cookie. And I don't know how I'm still here.
Because the guy doesn't eat sugar at all.
Oh yeah. And then I get a sugar high because apparently it's 50% sugar. But it tastes like it's 100% deliciousness.
I'll put it up against anybody's. Just saying.
Yeah. Well, next week on this, that's what we can do.
Oh.
Next week on Coffee with Flip, we can all enjoy chocolate chip cookies and talk about how delicious they are.
Yeah, we could.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So the in-person event,
Yeah.
they'd actually get to try.
You guys can actually eat next week's giveaway. We can give away 4 J Guppy cookies. This is working out great. But a part of that,
we won't ship them.
Do I
with
get
the
to leave an
fish.
hour
We'll
early?
put them in a separate package.
you can leave an hour early
Mhm.
when Leather says it's okay.
He's gonna He's gonna finally give you an office that will also have like
Right,
a little
oven in
kitchen
it?
in it.
Yeah, we'll build a kitchen into your office. What do you need? What do you need to make cookies at work?
Refrigerator and oven, I
Yeah.
guess.
Oh,
And a counter
my
space.
goodness.
Yeah.
Just
We
a
got
little
plenty of
square.
those. We'll see him in the fish room right now. Jay Guppy works out of the fish room. There's like a little desk in there. We'll see him like
There's a
preparing his cookies.
counter.
Yeah, there's no desk.
Yeah, it's a counter with a computer on it.
Partial workspace.
He literally is like in this little chair, and you see him. He's like, like every time I walk in there, that's what I see. It is so true. That's 100% what it's like. I won't even know what to do when I see him working at a real desk. Like I'll feel like somebody stole like my Christmas presents.
I know.
I want to have people bumping into my back when they're walking down the aisle because they need to get through.
Yes. Yeah, he's in a high traffic location too.
Hate to see it.
Oh, hate to see it.
I have a dust in my
Emily, do we
garage.
got anything else back there?
Yeah.
Because this conversation is like going down the rabbit hole.
Nowhere. Going nowhere.
Who would have known?
That's the secret to breeding guppies is chocolate chips.
Chocolate chip
I'm
cookies.
just kidding.
No,
Not
please don't do
factual
that.
advice.
Please. Fact check.
Yeah, I'm gonna start getting emails. I put chocolate chips in.
Put down the
Jake,
chips
I
and
don't
everything
understand.
died. It was weird. Anyway.
This is Doubtfire.
Oh, we got the 5-minute warning.
Yeah. 5 minutes.
I'm gonna act like I didn't see that. Just keep rolling.
I was gonna say, didn't you go like 16 minutes last week?
Yeah, we went a little over. Well, J Guppy, JG, this is your first live stream. How does it feel?
Oh, yeah.
Like, share with us the emotions that you have right now. I mean, where do I start?
Where do I start?
Yes.
It's kind of cool.
I know you were pretty giddy leading up to this.
Oh my god!
So
They were pulling my chain all morning.
all morning, we're literally placing. So Jay Guppy is the guy that's in charge of like our fish ordering and stuff. And so leading up to this, I've been doing it and I'm trying to get things off my plate. Jay Guppy's taking it over. So we're running through this whole thing. And I'm telling you, I never seen this guy act the way that he did this morning. It was like, I mean, they just legalized, marijuana in Ohio. So like, I don't know. Like, is this the new Jay Guppy?
Oh,
You know what's
do
funny
not
about that?
Partake.
No, he
in
doesn't.
anything.
Those are really
Well, at
good
least
in the
from what I
cookies.
know.
That's why the cookies are so good.
Yeah.
Kidding.
Who would have known?
What rabbit trail did we just say we're getting?
How did
off
we
of?
get here?
Jeez.
The one thing that everyone says about me in all my videos
Seth
is like,
Rogen.
they always say like, "Oh, this guy's stoned." Like for the record, I've never smoked weed in my life, ever, never done it. I've been high one time. It wasn't my fault. Secondhand smoke. I was like 9 years old. What? You can't say that?
9 years old.
Liv saying she does it all the time. Apparently, I don't know what's going on.
All the time.
All the time. All the things. But anyway, we're Jay Guppy, getting back to you. So all these emotions that you're
Great.
feeling all day.
It's probably my last one. So
We'll see him next week. Well, you have to be here next week. You're bringing cookies and
yeah.
the Green Cobras.
Sam. It was a great experience. Glad I was part of it. And
Yes.
I don't know what else to say. Honestly, I'm speechless right now.
It's good to hear.
That good of a time.
He had such a good time.
I had such a good time.
Is it better than what you thought it was going to be?
Yes.
Yeah, is it better than what you thought it was going to be?
Yes.
Yeah.
'Cause I usually hate getting in front of the camera, as Leather can tell. She used to be my videographer for taking those Chick-fil-A videos, and we used to do 15 or 20 takes for one video.
She wanted to punch herself if you guys didn't hear.
Because I'd be like, oh, start over.
So you used to work at Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
You used to do, what would you even call those? Like the traveling trailer?
The traveling trailer.
It was we just called it a food trailer.
The food trailer. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a traveling food trailer. You would take
I did
it.
that years ago, though. So
Yeah. That was
3
the
years.
glory days.
those were some entrepreneurial days. Yes.
Yeah. So you would see these videos. I mean, you really have to like search for these things. AK, we'll share one on our story.
Emily, was supposed to get
come
rid of
on.
those.
So we have Jay Guppy. He's there. It's cold. There's snow coming down. And he would get on there and he would sell this. He'd be like, hey guys, we are at Hermitage Lowe's today. We are so happy. We know it's cold outside, but we got some warm sandwiches for you.
How do you even remember this?
The whole
I
script.
love it,
It's
because-
memorized.
Hermitage Lowe's, it just brought me back. I'm like, why?
I watched it and it had such a lasting impact on me because,
That was a record-breaking day, by the way.
no, I set records that day. It was so much so that you had to have a second group bring you sandwiches because you sold out.
It was crazy.
You said, don't worry that there won't be sandwiches. We are going to make this thing work today.
Yeah.
Unlimited supply.
Unlimited supply. Anybody know when Raising Cane's opens?
Hopefully soon.
Raising Cane's coming soon to Niles, Ohio.
Yeah, and Popeyes, actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
Where are
down
they?
the Same block.
Across the street from each other.
Across
the
street from all-
trifecta.
Are they open on Sundays?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they are.
Let's go.
I'm a Cane's
Anyways.
gal.
We still like Chick-fil-A around here, even though our whole team originated from Chick-fil-A, apparently.
Hey, it's
Except
pretty
for Jenna. Jenna, where were you before
good. She
all
was a
this?
connoisseur.
All the places.
places?
Yeah. Prior to Flip, I was a school teacher. Taught
Nice.
6th and 7th grade.
Biology?
No,
Ah.
just regular science, general
that-
science,
that
and
works.
ELA, English Language Arts. And then from there, I became like a creative director for a local church.
Oh.
That was fun. That's where I got to like get into graphic design and videography and all the fun creative stuff. And then
All the
from,
things.
from there,
All the
I worked
things.
at a wedding venue and I helped coordinate people's special days.
Wow.
And then I'm here.
I can
Kind of did my own thing.
Hey,
for a
yeah,
little
you
while.
did a little own entrepreneurial stuff in the
Yeah.
middle there, you know,
Yeah, with all the
and
creative world of things. And
Britney Spears shouted you out a
that's
few
right.
times.
Me and Instagram had a little thing. I mean, still going.
What is your Instagram? Just in case somebody wants to check you out.
My Instagram is Jenna Marie Journals, and I just journal encouraging posts.
I love it.
And that lady
Yeah.
from Dance Moms, right?
Yeah,
What?
there's a lady from Dance Moms. She actually lives in Pittsburgh.
When I think of Dance Moms, the only thing that I think of is Bad Grandpa. Have you guys ever watched that?
That's a bad movie.
That is
Yeah.
a terrible movie, but it
Not
is
in the same- not in
hilarious.
the same
It
thing
is
at all.
But do you remember where they dressed the boy up as a girl and he competed and like all
I-
the moms were like furious?
Yes, because they were very serious about this.
They were very serious.
I was not a
Abby
dance
Lee
kid, so
Miller
I
was
don't know.
very serious.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, so
So
it's been
Dance
cool.
Mom
So I kind
shouted
of
you
just
out.
did my thing for a little bit, and then here I am.
I love it. We're so happy to have you.
Happy to
Yeah.
be here.
We couldn't do this. We couldn't do this Aquarium Club without you. Seriously.
Where would we be?
Me and Leather would still be scratching our head about how we could fit it into our schedule.
Well,
We would.
I probably wouldn't be able to do without Liv. So
Yeah. Hey, we're a great team.
yeah,
Match made in heaven.
dream team.
Especially Jay Guppy.
Yep.
We wouldn't have had such a good stream without him.
I just do my
This is
part.
true.
I had to sniff his coffee this morning just to make sure there was
Oh.
nothing in it.
You're
Well,
so
and you guys are
embarrassing.
talking about Pineapple Express so much. I'm starting to get concerned.
Pineapple.
Well,
This is
you-
the only movie that Ron.
We only mentioned it one time. Why is it still on your mind?
Because look at Jackson's red eyes.
Oh God, are they actually red? I can't see red.
What do Jackson
and
and
being
albino
blinded
bristlenose
by these lights.
pleco have in common?
What?
What? What?
What do Jackson and an albino bristlenose pleco have in common?
They both have
White
red
skin,
eyes.
It's
white
the red
complexion.
eyes.
It's the red eyes.
It's the red eyes.
This was the conversation we had this morning about blue-eyed lemon plecos and albino cories, and just going based on an albino cory will never have a black eye, so that's the easiest way to distinguish because we have a pond that somehow, some way, we have like 7 albino plecos and like 60 blue-eyed lemon plecos, and so we just had a
That was
conversation.
before I started.
That was well before. That's crazy. They've been here that long. It's another thing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
There's so many things we could talk about, but again, let's just say huge shout out to Will from Sure Aquatics winning the $25 gift card. We'll get that taken care of. Will, you just hold on. Our team will reach out to you, or you should probably reach out to us. Leather.ramsey@flipaquatics.com. I'm the winner.
And then next week,
Actually, just reach out to our normal email because you right now are overseeing all that. So,
I will catch it.
yep, you'll
I'll
see it.
find
You'll
it.
issue the gift card. We're all good.
And then I'll make a post today about the guppies
Yeah.
so that you guys can comment on it.
And guessing
take your
how
guesses.
many guppy tanks we currently have right now.
Yes.
And the winner receives a free trio of green cobras. The J Guppy line
Yes.
/ Joe Miller line, Mid Ohio Guppies. It's hodgepodge.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
yeah,
And so
but
the
they will be
closest person
beautiful.
will win.
Yeah.
And as long as you live in the U.S.
Yeah. You have to live in the United States. Big one.
Sorry.
And,
Does that include Alaska and Hawaii?
not Hawaii.
Just
Doesn't include Alaska. Puerto Rico? Yep.
Yep.
Can include Puerto Rico.
Mhm.
Some U.S. territories, although we can't guarantee
Guam?
live arrival. Guam, yeah, we've shipped to Guam before.
Nice.
You know, hey, we're here to make dreams come true. You know,
International shipping soon. Maybe.
No, slow down.
He won't be back
Not
on the
all
live stream.
dreams, I
now.
guess.
He's
Yeah, yeah.
bro.
This is Jay Guppy's first and last appearance on Coffee with Flip.
Overpricing.
Yeah. Anyway, Emily, do we got any last minute comments you want to bring up?
Somebody was asking any pointers for guppies in a heavily planted tank.
I'm just gonna sit back on this one.
A heavily planted tank. What is the general?
Any advice for guppies?
Nothing.
If
Like, are
it's
we trying to
still-
breed them? Are we trying to?
Are they having
She
issues?
Is
says
it a male, female? What are we-
Especially regarding quarantine meds.
Quarantine meds. Well, I don't
Ooh.
think that being heavily having that many plants is going to affect a quarantine. As long as your cycles are good and everything like that. Guppies are a little bit more on the hardy side. But I don't think anything will affect quarantine.
Yeah, the majority of the guppies that we sell are USA bred either by us or by our good buddy Joe.
Yeah.
And so there shouldn't need to be any kind of medication or quarantine. Although it's always good to have a quarantine tank set up. But like you would never want to quarantine in your main tank.
Yeah.
Like it'd be better to set up like a little 10-gallon tank, have them there for 2 weeks just to make sure nothing goes wrong because it's a lot easier to treat that. If you start putting medication into like a heavily planted tank, there's a good chance that your plants could melt, die, things like that. And so if you do want to quarantine, which I always recommend, even if it comes from us, it's just always better to do it because you never know, something might slip through. Set up a little tank and treat it as its own quarantine tank. And then after a couple of weeks, you can add them to your normal aquarium.
Yeah, I think it would affect the plants more than it would the fish on that side.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah. But we can talk about plants that are good for breeding and all that type of stuff for guppies too.
Yeah, that we're
Next
going to talk
time.
about that next week.
Yeah.
Great.
Just got a great bunch of guppy grass in yesterday.
We
So
did. Soon to be on the website?
soon to be on the
Or are you
website.
going to grow it out first?
Well, I'm gonna grow out some, but I think we can sell some.
I'm thinking, man, what would it look like with some guppies in that tank behind us?
It would be beautiful.
How many guppies could you fit in there? 300-gallon tank?
Too many to count.
Too many.
It'd just be so many.
We'd come in here, he'd be laying on the couch looking up at
It would
him.
be the new mutt guppy tank.
Pride and joy.
Ooh,
Just catch
yeah.
them and send them.
Catch them and send them. I like it.
Is a 10-gallon quarantine tank enough for 3 trios?
3 trios
This
as
is
in
from-
9 fish, or
This is from the same person asking about the guppies.
10 gallon for 9 fish would be enough for me.
How many do we do in our tanks?
More than that.
150 in a 20-gallon tank.
gallon, yeah.
So yes, no, it's absolutely enough space for us because we have so many in like a 20-gallon. Like literally, sometimes we'll have 200 in 20-gallon. You just have to be on top of your water changes, on top of your water quality, and knowing what you're dosing. So 9 fish in a 10-gallon tank, absolutely, that's plenty enough, and that leaves a lot of room for air.
Right.
And it should only be like a 2-week period. So
The more fish you
Realistically.
have, the more the soil the tank. So, you get away those options. Make sure you're taking care of the cycles.
yeah, that's it. You heard it here.
Someone says, I call my house the Guppy Palace. Nearly 100 tanks and currently over 30 lines of guppies.
What? Who is
Is that
that?
Twin City? Is that-
Jay Oliver's Guppies. and
Hey,
Aquatics.
Jay Oliver. That's another one of my good friends. He that's crazy. He has over 100 tanks.
We'll have to go visit.
What?
Field
We need
trip.
to start bringing in some Jay Oliver lines then too.
We'll be
Don't
reaching
get
out
jealous there, Joe. Don't get jealous, Joe. And yeah, no, that's really cool. So I forgot about Jay Oliver. Yeah, he's one that goes to a lot of the aquashellas, like does a lot of his own breeding, like if not all of his own breeding. So that's crazy. Over 100 tanks, and he calls it the Guppy Palace. What are we gonna call your area?
I have no idea.
The Guppy Kingdom?
Maybe.
Maybe. We'll have to see if
I
it's
just
already
have to think
taken.
about it.
If it's
Maybe we'll take some names from the guests. Maybe they can name it.
Oh yeah.
Dude, you are natural. How did we not have you a part of
That's
this
who we can send
sooner?
the cookies to.
My
Cookies to the
goodness.
person.
Hey, next week I'm not even
Name.
going to be on the show. It's just going to be Jay Guppy, and he's just going to be talking about all the things.
Yeah.
I love it. Anything else? I know we're probably running over.
We also would like a slime mold update on the community tab.
Okay. All right, we could do that. We can make that. Emily, you can make that happen for a members only video this week.
All right. I'll get
or
on it.
short.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe both.
Maybe both. Why not?
Got to do the community tab though
Got it.
first.
Yep.
Just brings me back to those plant tanks that we had downstairs that I had to take all the way down to the bare bones.
Oh, the
They'd
ones
been
that were
sitting in the
they were
corner.
kind of in the corner and no one ever looks in the corner and it was just like yeah, we'll get to it. And then yeah, it
Then Leather wanted to sell plant packs, and then had
next
to
thing you know, yeah.
clean them out.
Leather's always breaking systems around here. And just a reminder, Jay Guppy and Leather are a married couple.
Yeah.
So we got Mrs. Jay Guppy and then we got the Jay
That's right.
Guppy. That's right.
Which we do have some suggestions for Jay Guppy's
Oh.
Guppy shop. Okay,
Shop.
one is
I like that Guppy shop.
the one-stop Gup shop.
The one-stop Gup shop. Let's go. That is so good.
I might name my house that.
And then we have the Jay Guppy Dungeon,
Dungeon.
and then just
You are in the
Guppy
basement.
dark.
Dungeon.
You are downstairs.
Guppy Dungeon. Okay. I like
Somebody,
one-stop Guppy shop
Guppy
or
shop's
Gup
pretty
shop.
They're also asking if you have a Jay Guppy Instagram.
Whoa.
Maybe we'll have to,
So
plug
fun
that.
fact: not only do I breed guppies, but I am a beekeeper as well. So,
All right, let's
do
not make
have
this a
a
self-promotion
Jack
day.
but I do
Just
not
kidding.
have a guppy page yet.
Might have to.
Hey, actually, what is your bee page on Instagram?
Jacked Bee Farms.
And
Jack-
you just got interviewed.
yeah,
for like-
Bold Journal magazine.
Wow.
Yeah. It is also on there and my Facebook page, Jack Bee Farm.
We're hoping his bee farm doesn't get too big because we always want him to be Jay Guppy and not JB.
JB,
JB,
Not Bieber.
not Burt B. JB.
not Burpee. No. No. That's really cool.
I also do some
One
Jack-
stop Gup shop. Anything else there, DJM?
I think that's it for now. I do like the one-stop Gup shop though. I
One
think
stop Gup shop.
that's
We'll have to
pretty
figure out how we can do that. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. All right. Well, hey, I mean, this has been a lot of fun. I really enjoyed having you guys on today.
Thanks.
And like I said, next week it might just be Jay Guppy up here. Like we don't know.
We don't know, guys.
Eating
But stay
cookies
tuned.
and talking about green cobras.
Cookies and coffee.
Cookies.
Jacob.
That we instead of coffee with Flip, it's got to be cookies and coffee with Flip. And then every week you got to bake us a new type of cookie.
Oh man,
What other? Do you
Yeah,
have
he
other
needs his
specialty
kitchen first.
recipes?
the white chocolate chip is pretty good.
Oh,
Your withdrawal.
Leather likes the white chocolate with the peanut butter chips in it.
Mm,
I will do a Heath bar one. It's pretty good.
sounds good.
So yeah, but I don't know. That's kind of the one.
So if Leather doesn't come in on Saturday, would that give you enough time to make some cookies? Wait, are you doing your other job this weekend?
But you know, I mean, that's 2 days. Like you want them fresh. You want them the night before. I'm not saying they wouldn't still be good because they are still good.
I mean, I had them day 2, and it was like reliving my glory days. So, I think it'd be fine if you cooked them on Saturday.
Probably.
Although I think the real step is though, having you in office with a stove in it.
Hey, make it work.
It's
Mark
literally
on-
the one stop.
Get Mark on it.
It's the one-stop
for
cook
all
shop.
things.
Can I get that desk though?
we
I
do
love it.
have one more question.
Whoa.
What's
Bless
a
you.
good low maintenance fish or shrimp for a first time micro tank owner?
Micro.
A guppy.
A guppy. I knew it. Guppies actually are a really good beginner fish. I mean, there's some like expensive ones, but the reason they're expensive is because they're really hard to get that pattern. And so like you can get like our mutt guppies, high quality mutt guppies, and like we're usually sold out of them, to be honest. Like we just can't get enough of them. Joe, we've been making Joe ramp. Joe's retired. He loves guppies, and he's literally like our one-stop guppy shop. And he just started bringing us guppies all the time. And then we weren't really pushing them, so like he kind of scaled back. And then all of a sudden we were pushing him, and then we never had enough. And now he's like ramping it up. And we're like, Joe, like, how do we get more of these? Like he's saying I can bring you 12 pairs a month. And we're like, how do we get to 120? And he's like, I already have like 48 tanks in my basement. Like, what more can I do?
We wait for that availability list every month.
Yeah.
It's like,
So,
"Darn,
but
we
anyway, that's
quit."
where our mud guppies come from. And
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be where I would start. As far as the shrimp, I mean, if you're just Neo Carradina are they're pretty
Cherry
easy.
shrimp.
Cherry shrimp, I think our
Fancy
fancy
blues.
blues are great. They're pretty hardy. Other than that, maybe like the carbon willies would be a really good beginner one. But that's where I would go. If you're really a super beginner, a mono shrimp is the easiest shrimp to keep. And if you can't keep a mono shrimp, like don't even try going anywhere else, because like the people that email us that like they're like, hey, I just got a mono shrimp, they all died. Like, can you help me? And we're like, no, we actually can't. Like
If
those
you killed those.
but we do help them.
Yeah.
But if those died, like there's some big issues we got to fix, either with water quality or something. But yeah. Oh, all the screens went black. DJ M. We saw literally both of our DJs, Liv and M, got up at the same time and started shuttering all of our cameras. But anyway, we're back. So the stream went so what
Dark.
it is every 30
What's happening?
every 30 minutes you have to recycle the cameras so they don't go to sleep. And we went longer than we normally do. So normally
they
one
slept.
shutter is enough, but this time it took 2 shutters to get us through. But anyway, go ahead. Em's got something else.
We do have some suggestions for Jay Guppy to get an easy bake oven on his, they say his desk, but I think his counter is more appropriate.
Yes.
In the meantime.
Dude, that's a great idea. Have you ever cooked out of an easy bake oven? You didn't have one as a kid? You just developed your baking skills
with a real
Yes.
oven.
with a real oven?
Imagine
How did
that.
they explain
Like
to
an
me?
adult.
Where did your love for cookies come from?
I wanted a good cookie now, so I don't have to go buy one.
Didn't you say like Leather tried making cookies and like it was like eating tinfoil?
No, she tried to make dessert one time, and it was like concrete, and
That's worse.
we just didn't let her make anything.
No, it was like,
so-
okay, we all have our lanes and you need to stay in your lane.
Right.
She's happy to stay in her
I
lane.
don't think she would be upset with most things I cook or bake. So
She wouldn't be upset with what?
most things I cook or bake.
Less work. And they're delicious. So
When
Yep.
maybe that's what I'll get you for Christmas.
My French toast recipe.
Easy bake oven. French toast?
Leather will swear on it. So
Yeah. My goodness.
I know.
What is going
I
on
don't
back
wanna give
there?
away secrets.
Behind the scenes, if you guys can only see what's going on
It
right
just
now.
seems like we ventured out of the shrimping industry and into something else.
Well, yeah, I mean,
So I'm not sure if like this is
They
the
need to
start
get
of
to
a new
know me.
LLC or
maybe we
What?
cook some shrimp inspired cookies, like shrimp cookie cocktail,
sounds delicious.
right?
Sure. How would I do that?
Does that work? Anyway, thank you guys so much for being our guests today. We're gonna wrap this thing up. We appreciate all the insight, and thank you for being a part of all of our crazy conversations today.
Yes.
We went down a lot of rabbit holes.
Lots of pineapple.
But hey,
espresso.
that's the fun part about Coffee with Flip is you never know where we're gonna go.
Never know.
It always starts around aquariums, but man, it might end on baking. It might
Bake
go.
ovens.
Might talk about Pineapple Express. We just don't know what will happen. Bad grandpa.
I was just thinking about Dr.
Jeez.
Pepper. I didn't know anything about Pineapple Express.
Yeah.
Anyway,
never
next
know.
week we're gonna eat some pineapple cookies.
On trend.
Have you ever made those? Oh, we're gonna stop there. Anyway, Jay Guppy, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for being a part of it.
It's
Jenna,
my pleasure.
it's my pleasure. Chick-fil-A. Jenna,
It's really not
thank you
Yeah.
for all that you're doing on the membership side.
No
We
props.
appreciate it. We're gonna make a community post about the Green Cobras.
Yes.
Guess on how many tanks we have. See who wins next week. And we'll be back next week with some chocolate chip cookies, some Green Cobras, some more Jay Guppy. I know you guys want to see them. So
Maybe.
thank you guys so
See.
much for tuning in today. As always, God bless. And
We'll
we'll catch you on the
catch you.
flip.
We'll catch you on the flip
Yeah,
side.
we'll catch you on the